Hi guys, good evening to all. Good morning for the people who are not in the same time zone. Hope you are doing well, and today is the fourth day of Python 02 Hero, and I hope that everybody have started some form of practicing before coming to the lecture, and hope people keep 100% attendance for the remaining days. Today we are going to cover a many excited thing. Before that, let me share my screen and show you what plan we do have. Okay, so this is my screen. Can anybody in the web chat can confirm if my screen is visible? Evening, guys. Anybody in chat, please write that if my screen is visible clearly. Perfect. Thank you, Ashwini. Thank you, Yogita. Thanks for the confirmation. Yeah, yeah. Thanks, everybody. Thank you very much. Hope the voice is also clear. Uh, Please, if you feel that the live broadcasting is not clear, I mean, at your side you are unable to see a code block, then I believe you should need to change the resolution, which might depends on your broadband internet speed as well. So do try to watch it on 720p or 1080p so that you can see a code cell as well, because that would be the crucial part of all the lectures. So for today we have excited plan. Yesterday, let me brief you what we did is we have done a list tuple, a lot of again a lot of reiteration on for loop, seen some ranges, then have spent some good time with the JSON or dictionary and many way of iterating or traveling through the dictionary. So that was what we have done yesterday. So today and tomorrow will be little more advanced, because today we are going to explain a first fundamental block of any programming, which is a function. Not only for the Python, but for any program, for any programming language, a function is a fundamental block, because helps you to this helps you to segregate your code. This helps you to divide your code into many blocks. This helps you to reuse your code, and this again helps you to reorganize or well organize structure your code. So I'll tell you what I meant. So hope everybody is as excited as am I, and please for 1 hour just keep 100% attendance as well as your fully concentration, so that you get a good learning from this lecture. So without a further ado, let me directly jump into the code section and let me start. So let me tell you how I'm going to deal without a function and with function. Suppose I have two things. I have a num1, I have one variable, and then I have another variable called num2. And I'm going to give a num1 some value, maybe a 20. and num2 are 29 example. And I'm going to say print f string. You shouldn't always use f string, but as a good practice, you folks should use it. Sum is, and I'm gonna say num1 plus num2. That's as simple as you can imagine. Absolutely as clear as it is. Okay, now I need to change the value of num1 and num2. So I come here, I print it, and rather than 20, it's a 40. And rather than 29, it's a 45. And I'm gonna copy this also. Let me write it. Writing is a good practice always for a beginners. Sum is, and I'm gonna just say the same thing what I have said in the first block. As simple as it looks. It makes sense, but have you seen something that for every time I'm changing the value, I need to reiterate everything again? What if I need to do answer? What if I need to do answer is equal to num1 plus num2 divided by 5? Then you need to do the same thing here also, because you have changed the value of num1 and num2. Maybe you wanted to change a value of num1 and num2 10 times, or maybe 15, 20 times, infinite times. Then what do you think? Writing this code again and again would be a good practice? For a learner, it's a good practice. Yes, for a learning, you can absolutely try that. That's not at all any harm in this, because you are learning a syntax and you wanted to make sure that you do understand what need to be copied, what's not need to be copied. But as we progress, as the steps, as the complexity, as your requirement from particular block of code increases, your code which need to be rewrite will also get increased, and which will lead to a lot of confusion. So maybe you have answer, you want to multiply answer by 2, you want to divide it by 3, you want to send it somewhere, blah blah blah, a lot of things. That's absolutely possible. It will lead to many things. The first thing would be non-code reusability, the number one enemy of a programming languages, let it be any programming language. Second thing is that you need to take care where you were and what you need to copy. Third thing is that code iteration will be also very slow, because you are keep on using the memory to save many new things. And then there are some more, not sure about what else need to be explained, but these four things are important, but there are much more than what I have spoken. And for this, in any programming language, especially Python, JavaScript, C++, C Sharp, C, Java, PHP, they have introduced something called function. Name as function, the paradigm or the concept is same, syntax is different. Let me show you the same way what I did using a function. So for function, in JavaScript, you need to write function. That's a keyword. But in Python, we have something called def, D-E-F. Again, let me do it, not capital D-E-F. If I write capital DEF, which is wrong, and I write a real DEF, which is really a syntax, you would see the color of capital def is different from small def, because anything which is a bold green color means it's a syntax. It's not a bold guy, by the way. So if you use this def, it won't work. Def is basically means you wanted to instruct a Python that I wanted to start writing a function. First of all, how to write a function which does nothing but which is really a function? As simple as you just need to write def space name of your function. Okay, your name of the function is sample. What does it take? You need to provide, you shouldn't always need to provide an argument, but you need to make a bracket always. That's compulsory. And if anything which doesn't need to do anything, we have a special keyword called pass. Everybody knows that. Many people who has seen a pass knows that. If anybody who is new, let me tell you, pass means do nothing. Let me comment it so that you folks understand when you revisit this lecture. Pass means do nothing. As simple as you read it. It does nothing. Let me execute it. Let me remove a bracket as you are not providing any argument, and let me show you, it might produce an error. Yes, because you need to give at least a empty bracket. which is not the case with something else which is called a class, which is we'll try to explain tomorrow if part time permits. But in a case of function, whether you are providing zero argument or more than one or anything, you always need to make this bracket. That's a compulsory. Let me make this function again. Now, once you made a function, it does not mean that it will start working. You need to instruct it that, okay, function is ready, start working it. So what do you mean by that? You need to execute it. How you're going to do that? You're just going to type the name of the function, again bracket. Again bracket, if there is argument, you will put inside the bracket, but if there is no argument, also you need to make an empty bracket. So let me execute this. I have executed successfully. I didn't get anything because my function doesn't do anything. Let me do some more thing with this empty function. Let me find out what type of variable this is. It's a function. Yes, I can make a bracket. It shows none time, which is little advanced. I won't confuse you guys for this. But let me just type the name of the function. It says it's a function. Let's see what all things I can do with function. So there is something called dir. For a time being, just just ignore underscore things. That's a part of our PGP curriculum because we need a good amount of time to spend with student to let them know that why this underscore are also known as dunder method or a special method does what. For a time being, just ignore this and concentrate on the anything which is not underscore. So you have seen there is nothing which does not have any underscore. Why? Because this function doesn't do anything. As simple as you have seen. Now let me make a function which again calculate the addition of two numbers. Makes sense. I'm gonna say calculate sum, and again as I said, I need to make a bracket as always. My function takes two arguments. That's a num1 and num2. And I'm gonna write that what it should do. I can write pass again here also. Let me show you that as well for the folks who are really interested to learn about pass. I just do a pass, and if I try to do calculate sum and I don't provide any parameter, it would throw an error showing that it is missing two required positional arguments, num1 and num2, but I haven't given anything. So I may need to write two parameters. Let me write only one. It changes the error, but it says now one more is needed. So I may need to write one more. That's a 2, 3. 2 plus 3 is 5. But again, it's not returning anything because my function doesn't do anything with it. Okay, what if I wanted to let it do something? I can say answer is equal to num1 plus num2. As simple as this. And I'm going to say print answer. Now let me re-execute it. Now you are able to see that it's returning 5. Okay, I have something called calculate sum, and there is a one special method which you don't need to remember always. But there is something called underscore dict. Will not go into a detail, but this this method gives you all the properties or all the other functions or methods or variables you have inside this. This is very useful when we are dealing with object-oriented programming. Again, that is the part of the PGP curriculum. So calculate sum does what? Calculate sum, if you just type calculate sum, it says really that it's from a main class, it's a calculate sum, it takes two number and does something. What if I wanted to maintain something called docs? I wanted to say docs, or I wanted to write some help so that if anybody who is visiting first time understand what this function does. This is a very good practice when you're writing a function which can be used by other folks as well. So you can write here, it takes two args and returns sums of both. As easy as this. Now if I do this, I get the same. But if I try to get help of this function, I'm going to type help and name of the function. I get this. the message what I typed here. It takes to argument return sums of both. So it's very easy. If you wanted to maintain a documents of a function, you can write underscore underscore docs also. That also works. That also works. So if you try underscore calculate sums dot underscore underscore doc, you get the not here but in Python 3 you will get the docs result as well, which we will explore further after some examples. Now let me tell you one more problem with this function. There is another problem. uh, let's take some doubts before going to the next problem. Let's see. Yes, you can. Good question. Somebody's asked that if we put a calculate sum and after bracket some space, let me keep. It's totally fine. It doesn't matter because it will remove it. This is the same case with this also. This really does not matter at anything. So you can put as much space as you want. Now I said that there is another problem with this function. I'm sure that many people would have figured that out, but if I say this statement, everybody would be able to guess what I'm talking about. I does this function and I provide some parameter like 3 and 4. I get a 7. Yes, this is what this function is supposed to do it. Now I wanted to get the result of this function and multiply it by 2. I can do that as well. There's a problem. It's not telling me to do it. It's getting something called type error. What it says is unsupported operand type for none type and int. So maybe this function is printing 7, but after printing it's getting vanished. So let me comment this. Let's see what happened now. Again, it's not understanding because it's not printing, returning anything. So print is good if you just wanted to see something and move on, don't wanted to reuse it. Here comes the role of return. So I say return answer. Now let me execute this. Now you get an answer. 2, 1 plus 4 is 5, multiply by 5. That's a 25. Or you can say ans is equal to this. Ans is already used, so answer is equal to this, and you can take it with you forever. You can write it anywhere. Answer is this. You can multiply it by 8 or divide by anything, would work at all. So the only difference between print and return everybody would have got now, that print is just to see, print it once it's printed, it's gone, it's a none value, you can't reuse it. And return gives you access of reusing it. So let me show you, let me delete this answer and let me calculate sum. I mean, just execute that. Yes, I'm able to get the print. What I have got with the print statement, that's what the same thing I'm able to do it with return also. So there is no harm in returning. There are some more complexity with print versus return, which will not cover in this lecture, but in the further we will try to cover that part as well, because return is having a one problem that it always update from the latest value. It always gets forget the previous, again keep on taking the latest, so it takes always the last value in the iteration. It's not the case with the print. So we'll try to see that also if we get some time tomorrow. So guys, any doubt with this so far? Now, because now we are going to make a program of a calculator. But before that, I'm going to show you a excited keyword also, which is called args. Many people would have heard it, but not many people would have used it as well. Yes, yes. You what's your name, Khalanesh? You have a surprise. This is what I'm going to cover. Somebody who has typed, what if we don't know how many numbers to add? I mean more than 2. Here the role comes, which I'm going to explain in a moment. Before that, do we have any doubt, guys? And hope you folks are learning something from this lecture. Hope you folks are keeping 100% attendance throughout the week. and you are able to see the registration chat also. Do register if you wanted to take this conversation ahead. So it looks like that we have no doubts. So let's directly jump into the code section now. Why hash is used in print? I didn't use hash. Which hash you're talking about? This hash means comment. This is just a comment. I just commented it. If I remove this, it's a I just commented it. That's why I have kept hash means comment in Python. Okay, let me go back to text editor and let me show you that a special magic function is there which can take infinite amount of parameter. You don't need to always specify num1, num2, num3, num4, blah 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 blah, because not always we are sure how many numbers might come. So I'm just going to copy this function. Let me rewrite it, because guys, it's a very good practice to keep on writing the code. That gives you a speed, or it gives you agile speed of writing a code continuously. So always remember that. Calculate sums, and I'm going to not take one or two, but I'm going to return the entire sum. So here I just need to provide a special keyword called args, and I'm gonna make something called docs also, because this is a good practice. It takes n number of arguments and return its sum. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to use another magic function called sum, and I'm going to just put args. As simple as this. I did the same thing here, but let me just put some more. And I'm going to give a two things. First, calculate sums, not sums. Yes. Let's see what calculate sums does. It takes a number of argument, return its sum. Do you remember that doc string we gave? We can write there doc string this as well. And if you try to do help, you get node. No, you need to give underscore doc. Sorry, guys. So in underscore doc, if you try to get it doc, you would get it. So it's a good practice. If you're not sure you want to provide doc string or doc, you can always put it in a single quotes. Many folks would be get confusing, or you can put in double quotes as well. That's totally fine with it. Not sure that why when I put a docs, it's not showing. It should show here. Let's try help and let's see what we get, because docs is a standard keyword for letting other know. Okay, something is fishy in this, because this help should return this doc, but if I don't provide this doc, it's surely returning it. So here you are able to see it. So let's figure that out together later on. That's not a very important stuff. Just remember, you can give your help like this, or you can give a sample example how to run this code. You may wanted to say that it's a very good thing to maintain a diary or a register of your documentation. So you may wanted to say example 2 3 would return 5. So you can say always this like this, and if you try to get it, you say calculate sum. So this is very neatly maintained doc string, and you would understand. So now let me provide nothing. You remember that when we have taken a 2 argument and we didn't provide it 2, it showed the error, but this is not the case with arguments, because we have set infinite. So infinite starts with 0 as well. 0 1 2. Let me provide 1. It's going to return sum of 1 is 1 only. Let me provide 2. It's going to return 2. Let me provide 5 6 7 8 70 7 8 56 70. It does not matter. It's going to return a calculate of all the sums. This is the beauty of args. There is another keyword called quarks also. Let me come to that as well, because this is a heated topic. Args and quarks many times asked in a basic interview, so many folks have struggled. Let me show you that as well. Let's see if we have any doubt. Sunny, the arguments and parameter, it's a basically, if you provide a function parameter, and if you're making object oriented programming class, you can provide arguments. So both meant same, but when we are using our classes, we always provide that as an argument, and some people say that also parameter. In a case of function, people might say parameter argument. So both kind of like same. But many people have divided that if it's a class, it's an argument, if it's a function, it's a parameter. So I hope that makes sense. Now I'm supposed to show you quarks also. So you remember that we have seen something called dictionary name, or we're gonna say that yeah, name is let's upgrade, and codes. What codes we are at? We are at Python 0 to hero, and I'm gonna say Python 0 to hero. So this is basically making key value key value. You wanted to also give a key value a lot. You don't know how much, but in a proper format. So suppose you have something called, let me delete this. I have, now I'm going to say def grocery list. Grocery list. Grocery list can be of n size. It might be a 1, 2, 3, 4, doesn't matter. uh, if you find that grocery spelling, yeah, this is correct. I thought something is fishy with the grocery spelling. Okay, guys. Before that, it looks like I forgot to tell you that if there are any new crowd today, I wanted to tell everybody that as we have seen that we are going in a shallow manner with the topics, because we have a lot of things to cover in 1 hour time frame, and we got only 5 days. So we are unable to go into the depth of any programming, but we have introduced this course so that you understand your trainer, we understand as a student. If you feel that you wanted to kickstart your career in IT or in programming, or you are already in a IT field but you wanted to come back to a Python, which looks like a hot topic for many folks including me as well, or you are a student, you want to land your first job or maybe internship or anything, and you really wanted to give your 6 months, not more than that, to start a career, you are at the right place. Because in Let's Upgrade, we have 4 PGP courses taught by me as well as other excellent trainers. And let me brief you about those 4 courses, because many folks have been hearing it for the first time. Good evening, Manthan. Quite late today. The first PGP course what we are offering is Python plus Django. Many people who have seen a Python must have heard about something called Django. It's not Django. D is silent. Please don't say that in interview. Although you haven't meant, but it looks embarrassed. So it's a Django. Django is one of the one of the top contender in top 3 framework in Python. Flask also. Django plus Flask. So Django is a front-end framework. It's already built in Python and JavaScript, HTML. So we are going to build entire front-end using JavaScript, Python, HTML, CSS also. People must be surprised at how he's saying that we are going to build a Python front-end, because there is something called Jinja 2 or Jinja. That's a templating language. It has the exactly same structure as a Python. So front-end also we are going to use this, backend entirely in Python. Yes, that's why we are using Django. APIs also we have 2 options. We are going to use a Django REST API or a Flask API or Flask REST API. That's the first PGP what we are offering. Second PGP is also on the same line. That's called full stack or a mean stack PGP, means some front-end library framework like React or native React or Angular, backend in Python, and choice of a database, maybe a NoSQL if somebody is interested in JSON, because NoSQL is all about JSON key value pair. But if somebody wanted to go with a conventional DBMS, really care about ACID properties, go with a PostgreSQL or MS SQL or MySQL or SQLite or IBM DB2, anything. That's the second course what we are offering. Third thing is a specialist PGP course using AI, artificial intelligence, machine learning, and some deep learning form. Here we are going to spend the entire 1 month in data engineering, learning how to clean the data, cleanse the data, how to take the prediction of the data, and some more things, data pipeline. After that, what is regression, how you're going to find out many more things with the given algorithm, maybe a mathematical algorithm which is already implemented in other language, take it in Python, understand how you can tweak it, how you can make a cluster, and many more things. The last PGP, but not the least, is data science, the hottest buzz keyword I believe in the entire IT industry. Everybody would have heard about it, maybe in a college, maybe in university, or maybe in your workplace also, data science, data science, data science. I have heard a lot, I'm quite sure. So data science means what? Data science is all about the data. So we are going to spend again entire 1 month in exploring data life cycle. Data doesn't come in the form where you can directly put into the algorithm. Data comes in a very, very dirty way. Maybe data in the website, you wanted to extract it. For extraction, you have a Selenium automation, or maybe you have beautiful soup for extracting HTML tags, extracting the data inside it. One data done, you can use something called pandas to make a database, or cleansing out of it, or giving XML, HTML, or a JSON file out of it. You can use a matplotlib, Seaborn, NumPy, lot of things. So this entire thing is basically a DevOps of a data, the entire pipeline from a data's birth until the data is in the clearest form, which can be consumable by a given algorithm. So maybe algorithm is example a Monte Carlo algorithm. Many people have not heard of it. Monte Carlo simulation algorithm basically means predicting the price of a stock from a historical prices. So it expect the stock prices to be in a particular format, or maybe you have an algorithm where you wanted to recognize a handwriting. So that's a handwriting recognition. Google is a top leader in that. So this is also covered in a data science PGP. So these 4 PGP we are covering here, and the duration is, I think, around 6 months. 6 months, and we are going to complete. Why I always say is because this is not a theory lecture. So when you complete something, we are also going to complete on the same line. Because if you ask something else, we should be also be ready. It's not like that you ask something and we just read a book and open at chapter 23, page 25, and go to a third line and give you the answer. This is not like that. Although I'm going a little fast, I understand that. So the cost is not too much. If you take our competitor, not wanted to name them specifically, that's a 29,600, I believe, less than 30,000. And as a trainer, I have given a privilege to distribute some coupon code. I think I have around, not sure, less than 20 coupon code, not sure about that. My coupon code for the audience today is a capital KAMAL. Every day I get a new coupon code, capital Kamal. And if you use that coupon code, you might get a discount of around 4,000 or 5,000. Then as a startup, Let's Upgrade is offering us some more discount, maybe not sure how much, that if you include your colleagues or your friend, you have a reference, your friend too wanted to join, you might get some more discount. Not sure about that, you can inquire about it. So if you feel that you are really learning something from this lecture, you feel that yes, I'm in a position to teach you folks, you feel that really you wanted to challenge yourself, because programming is not about coming out of your comfortable zone, then I would highly encourage you to visit a PGP courses and try that it really is going to work or not. So this is up to you. I won't be forcing, but if you feel, just go with it. So that's all about I wanted to convey to the folks who are coming first time in uh, 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 our lecture. So let me get back to uh, code editor and let me show you that where we have stopped. That's a Quarks. But before that, do we have any questions so far, guys? And let me sip of water. Let's be a friend function again. Yes, friend function is a good thing in Python, which is a part of the object-oriented programming. We won't be able to cover it. I apologize for that in this week, because for having a friend function infrastructure, we need to start with the object-oriented programming basic zero, so that you understand what you mean by class method or instance method, class variable, instance variable, inheritance, object loading, and many more things. Any more doubt, guys? Shall we directly jump to code now? That Prabhajot, both are powerful. Okay, so if we have doubt, we'll see it. Let me get back to a Python script and let me show you. As we know that we have spoken about a grocery list. So grocery list maybe have something like you wanted to buy potato. Potato is equal to 3 kgs, and you want tomato. Tomato would be 2 kg. Although it's costly, I can understand. You want cherry. How many cherries you want? You want 12 cherry. And then you want some milk. How much milk? You want 2 liter. And there are some more things. You can put a float or and then you want shirts, not shirts, that's a plural. So you want a shirts of XL size, maybe for you, double XL for your brother, or in the L for maybe your younger brother. Yes, this list can get as complicated as you're seeing here. So you may wanted to write a function like this also, which can go infinite. Now you wanted to return quarks. This is let me show you. Let me delete this because this is the way we are going to use for declaring. Let me just copy this we are going to use it for declare using it, not for the derivation. And I'm just gonna write that grocery list, and here rather than arc, just like I have written, I'm going to write quarks, as simple as this, but double asterisk, double star, quarks. And I'm just gonna return, first let's see just quarks. And I'm gonna just type some doc string. As I said, that's a good practice. It takes items in form of key is equal to value. Example, name is equal to ABC. Now you have potato 3 kg, tomato. No, you don't need to give key in the string. You just need to write directly and execute it. As simple as this. You got the entire dictionary. So if you save this as A, very weird name, but that's all right. A is what? A is dictionary. How to find out A? It's a dictionary. So you can take A outside of the function and can play with it just like iteration and all, or you can play it inside as well. So maybe I'm gonna play inside for key value. Everybody knows this. For key value in quarks and print key value. And I'm just going to delete this return. Now let me delete this A. We don't need it. Quarks is it's because it's the items, not the quark, not 9. This really happens all the time. So you see things now as a clearer. You can reiterate it. You can write many more things. You can write some float also. Change left basically means the amount 34.5. You can do that as well. It's keep on gonna increase. And if you just copy this and you are gonna provide without, not at all a problem. It's not going to return you an error. Hope that makes sense. Okay, we have a doubt. What is the difference between arcs and quarks? Aisha, if you have joined just now, otherwise you have seen it, that arcs takes unlimited, infinite amount of items like values 1, 2, 3, 4, blah blah blah, or you can perform. Quarks takes unlimited amount of key values. That's the only difference. Okay, any more doubt, guys? Because arcs and quarks has been seen it, that it's been asked many times in the interviews. Although looks simple, but it's a very powerful thing. Now I'm gonna explore. I'm gonna make now a calculator function. So, but before that, okay. I believe that good discussion is going on in the chat box. Yes, please, guys, try to help each other. Okay. And you need to put arc symbol single asterisk and quarks double asterisk. So this is quarks and this is arcs. And while using it, you don't need to put asterisk. You can directly put quarks. Hope that makes sense. Now I'm going to make end-to-end a function of calculator. Maybe you remember, if anybody who is from some university or some education, everybody is, we have seen it many times. We have got an assignment in a computer science to make a calculator function. So I'm going to make it as we speak. Calculator takes what? I'm not going to make it as very complicated. I'm going to first perform with two parameters, num1, num2. 2. And third parameter would be what? Can anybody tell me what would be third parameter? The first parameter is num1, second parameter is num2. I'm going to go with only two numbers. What is the third parameter? What do you think? Any guess? No guess. Third parameter obviously guys would be what? Not result, Sunny, not result. Operation. Yes, yes, it's operation because what you wanted to do. Sunny, result will do it inside, but we need to always give a operation what we wanted to do it. So maybe I'll write it as, I'm gonna take the same word as specified by Mr. Arora, operation. Operation. And I'm gonna now write it, and I'm gonna make a doc string. Always a good practice. It takes two args and returns the correct answer. Not too complicated, because any programming should be, fundamental should be clear. So we are dealing with the fundamental. We don't wanted to show off, or we don't wanted to start solving the Google code jam. Yes, Google code jam can be solved, but fundamental should be clear. So that's why we are making a very easiest thing, easier stuff, so that it's easy to debug. So now, very simple. If operation is equal to sum, I'm just going to write in a string. You can see, understand that the program what I'm writing is the easiest of all. I believe nobody would have any doubt on this. Doubt in the sense means that what it's really doing, because it's as easy as it looks, totally readable. If I say that operation is sum, what I'm going to do is I'm going to return num1 plus num2, num1 plus num2. Elif operation is equal to subtract. I'm going to write in a small shortest form, return num1 plus num2. Elif operation is equal to multiply, mul, you can give the way you want. I'm going to return num1. Multiply means asterisk, you just need to provide asterisk and it would get it. And there is another elif operation. You might think that why I not gave else. I'll show you in a minute. Divide, div, just gonna do what? Return num1 divided by num2. Now many people might type ABC, so if I don't write this condition and just write else, because you know that if it's not sum, if it's not subtraction, if it's not multiplication, it would always be a division. But what if a person provides some weird things? It try to breaks your program. So here comes a proper handling of that error. So I'm going to say that if anything which is not among these two, I'm going to return a simple thing. Please provide correct operation name. And I'm going to give him option multiplication, divide, so that he can choose from this. Sum, sub. Let me execute this. And calculator. I'm not going to provide anything first. 3 argument is missing, guys. Please focus. We have seen the same thing here. When we don't provide argument, we get error. If I provide only 1, I get this error. So I need to provide 2. What if you don't wanted to provide it? What if you don't want to provide and you wanted to make a program such a way that it understand that if nothing is provided, take some default value? In that case, we can give a direct default like this. Num1, suppose you take 0 or 1, because 0 by 0 will be again through error. Num2 is 1. So if you don't provide anything and operation is equal to, I'm also going to give none, or you're going to give something like none, And if I execute this, it works without error, although I haven't provided anything. Because please provide correct operation. It says I don't need to provide parameter because it takes the default if I don't provide anything. What if I, let me take that. I'm going to write it here. Write it here. I'm going to just provide divide. It's div. Basically, that's a div. 1 second, guys. That's operation should take operation is taking as none, and I'm going to it's unable to understand which position it is. So let me first provide 3 comma 4. One more comma. That's a positional argument. Now it understands. So it's unable to pretend that which argument is which. So in that case, if you don't provide anything and just provide a divide, it won't understand because it's thinking that divide is the first argument. So that's way we are going to handle it, but we'll handle it later on. First, we'll go with the fundamentals. So I say 5 comma 6 and I want to sum. Yes, this can be done easily. I got 5 comma 6, but I provide sums. It's going to write, please provide correct operation, choose from one. So you can correct this as well. As simple as you are seeing here, this is the basic program of calculator, guys. Let's see any doubts. How to merge two dictionary? Yes, I'm going to come on that. Million, do remind me after a minute. Num1, num2 also you can give. Which one? Yeah. Thank you, guys. Who has suggested? Khalandes, yes, correct. I didn't observe that. So if I say that subtract is going, not sub, sub is going to return -1. Yes, thank you for that. Okay, so we have a question that how to merge dictionary, but somebody has already answered. So Milind, you want to try, otherwise let's show you. There's update function also, but there are some more also. Update is a good function, but let me show you that we have a two dictionary. A is equal to name, it's let's upgrade. I'm going to show you simple thing, very simple. And second is the program is what? Python. You cannot do this a plus b because it does not understand that how you are gonna add it. So then let's see, do we have an update method? Yes. If I give a b, what happens is that if I try to put bool, b would not change. A got a b, b would not change. Now let me show you that I'm gonna make a count. I'm going to show you something important which I really slip off my mind. I should have explained yesterday. There is something called shallow copy and deep copying. Let me delete this first. There's something called shallow copy and deep copy. Basically means what? Let me show you in a minute. So I say that B count is 303. So now my B becomes 303. But what about A? A didn't change because when I have updated B with A, the time I have updated, the relationship with the B has been cut once it's been copied, but this is not always the case. Let me show you that as well. We have A as 1 2 3 and B is equal to 4 5 6. So I'm going to say that A is equal to A plus B, and this is A and this is B, and I'm going to say that B dot append 89. And if I come to A again, it's not let me print B first. We got 89 here, but it's not reflecting in A. Means what? It's a deep copy. Once it's copied, you don't need to worry. But that's not always the case with many data structure, which we might explore later on in the time. So you need to make sure that for that we have a specific library called from copy import deep copy. So anybody who is really interested in learning about these copy and deep copy, do explore this as well. Okay, we have I joined today. Okay, we how to merge two dictionary data in a single expression. So Milind, like in which sense you are talking about? I do have a couple of methods. So maybe you meant the same, but let's see. And guys, while Milind answer, you folks have any doubt about this? Guys, any doubt about this? Okay, now I'm going to go back to our main same text editor and try with some more merging, because we have seen this the update method. That's the best method, update what we have is. But let's see, there are you can make a function called merge also, and I mean many people have done that earlier, and it takes a two dictionary A and B, and you can always do A dot update B. Again, it means the same only. Obviously, this means the same only. I'm gonna do that A dot update B, and I'm just going to return it. So if I do merge, and I'm gonna give a name 123, and here I'm gonna give age 34. So oh no, you need to print also this. Let's see, would it work or not, or is it returning error? So it's returning none, so I may need to write it A, because A dot update return nothing, return A. Let's see this. So same update method which we did, you can use it inside with this sophisticated library also. If somebody doesn't wanted to use that, then we have something, we have a very special methods. We have very special method that is called something called asterisk asterisk. I'm going to write it here, asterisk asterisk merge for two dict. How it's going to work is, basically I'm going to show you. I'm going to wrap many things in a function, so just bear with me if you don't like a function, because function is a building block. So I'm going to say what, basically I'm going to say result, because this is going to be result, and I'm just going to type a simple thing. I'm going to make a dictionary like this, and I'm going to say that A dictionary, B dictionary, nothing else, just A dictionary and just B dictionary, and simple return result. I'm going to come here, merge, and I'm going to give some other dictionary. I'm going to give location as Mumbai, and second dictionary is country as India. So you get the result with this method. So this is also a very good way of updating or merging the dictionaries. There are some more method, but don't wanted to emphasize much on this, guys. But as somebody has requested, let me show you the final, the best way, the best of all. Let me show you which Python I have installed, because that's very important. I need a Python 3.9 plus. So it's a 3.8. No, it's going to work in 3.9. What you need to do is this pipe. So if I'll try to do that tomorrow, because 3.9 I don't want it to start now, but tomorrow this method also works. And okay, do we have any more doubt, guys? Hope that you have learned two, or I think two methods of merging. Third one is a pipe. If anybody is interested, do try at your corner. Otherwise, tomorrow I'm gonna obviously try that. Or let's see if I have a Python installed. Let's see that if I have a Python installed. Let's see. Hope people are able to see my terminal. And I'm gonna say Python 3.10. I have a 3.10 this installed. So I'm gonna say a name, A is equal to name. Let's upgrade. Let's upgrade, and B is equal to, this is Python 3.9 plus, so it's a 10. So you need to go to 10 if you wanted to try this method. Course Python 0 to 0. Now I'm gonna say A, B. As simple as this, guys. Although A didn't change, so you need to give A, B, and you may want to save it in A. So A is having now combination of A plus B, the best method what you can try, guys. Hope that makes sense, guys. Do we have any doubt? We have 5 minutes left. Don't want it to start anything new, because let me write it here. For Python greater than equal to 3.9. So this method works. Smooth method. Guys, what do you think about the lecture? And please, I want everybody to try at their corner as well to learn, because this is all about the practice. Rohit, if you have joined today, we haven't given any assignment because we haven't got any time for the assignment, because most of our time is going in learning the fundamental. So no worries, you haven't missed anything. Tomorrow we have an assignment day which I would be giving in the last minutes. But please try to be on time so that you understand and you also be on the same path. Okay, guys. Okay. Yeah, Yuraj, I told you I have kept the last best for the last. Always, that's my habit. This is the best method, I would say. There is one more method. Don't wanted to cover. That's a part of the advanced. There's an inbuilt library in Python which also update very well. But tomorrow I'll try to explain you difference between shallow copy and deep copy. I request anybody to do remind me tomorrow before the lecture. A previous lecture you can attend here itself. It's Rohit. It's there on the it's on the YouTube. So what YouTube you are watching? That's a day 4. We have day 1, day 2, day 3 videos as well. Rohit, for any group, you may need to go to LetsUpgrade and log in, and you would be able to see your dedicated chat page. I wanted to cover one more thing today, which is called date time library. But I don't wanted to start anything because I want to complete that library in a single go, not the entire thing, maybe at least a 10 method. So before that, guys, I'm reading your chat box, and I wanted to know that any of you, I have seen many, I would get many answer. Any of you have done a basic Python? Because now I would have a very verbal quiz for you. Anybody who has done a basic Python and basic object oriented programming, please do write in a chat box. I'm reading your chat as well. I have a question for you. Anybody who has done that basic Python plus basic oops, not too advanced. Yuvraj, yes. Okay, what about Prabhajot? Yes, I have done oops also basic. What about others? What about everybody? Please do participate. Kalandesh, yes. Shiva, yes. Okay, good. What about? Okay. Let's wait for 10 seconds more, Rohit. Okay, good. No, that's all right. If it's no, that's totally all right. I have a question to ask. If you have done a basic object-oriented programming, there's something called self keyword. What is self keyword? Simple answer. If you don't give correct answer, that's all right. But some answer should be. What is self keyword in class in basic object-oriented programming? No theoretical answer. The answer which comes to your brain the time you think self keyword. What is self keyword, guys? We have good 1 minute. So if you wanted to write something, please do write. Because many people who are good with programming, no doubt at that, even struggle with this. Yuvraj says it's represent an object. Ashwin, object. Everything is object in Python. Reference object in class. No, everything is object in Python. Default parameter, but what is it, Rohit? It's a default parameter, but what is it? It refers to self variable within a class, but what is self variable? Represent an object, Nagarju, but everything is object. No. Good effort. Aisha, point to the object itself. Getting closer, Aisha, but again, everything is object. So I won't take that as answer. We have one more guy whose name, if he wanted me to take his name, what's argd programmer? You wanted to answer that? You have something, access the variable method in Python? No. I understand that self.a, self.b you give. but not that. This is not why we need to use self. That is there, but if you don't use self, something wrong will happen. So why you use self is what I'll tell you. No more answer. It's a reference. Getting closer. It's a closer. Getting closer, but not the closest. Okay, I'll tell you. I'll tell you. If you make an instance of a class, a instance goes as a self, which is a first parameter. So if you have an instance method, not the class method, please understand. If you have an instance method, if you have an instance variable, it means your instance will go as a first parameter, which is self. What if you don't have any instance method? You have all the class method. Again, also you need to provide self, because self refer to the current instance of a class. We'll try to see that tomorrow live. And self helps class to understand. The blueprint basically means class, that this instance and that another instance, what's the difference. So that's why we use self. So self means it's an instance of a class goes as a first parameter. We would be seeing that live as a tomorrow as well. I think the time has ticked, guys. Thank you very much for being such a nice audience, and let's meet for the tomorrow's day, which is a day 5. And I want everybody to be punctuate for tomorrow. Please come on time, invite your friends if you think they can also get some help from this. Thank you very much, guys. Please do take care of your family, be safe, and let's meet tomorrow. Thank you, guys.